Welcome to BRL Realistic here at Netherlands Zandvoort. I'm here with Biwo. I'm your commentator tonight, Rathel. And how you doing, Biwo?
I'm doing good. Just kind of winding down in the week with the Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, one more day of the work week, then the weekend's here. It's nice.
We got a race weekend this weekend, so that should be exciting as well.
It's
Monaco, so
yeah, it's gonna be a busy. I mean, this is pretty much, if you're a racing fan, the best weekend for you. You got Monaco, especially Sunday. If you live in America, you got Monaco on Sunday morning, Indy 500 during the day, and then you'll watch the Coke 600 for Sunday night. So yeah, it's one of my favorite weekends of the year. It's basically my Christmas.
as well as tuning in for Friday for our Tier 4 and 3, and we also got our Tier 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Coming Saturday as well, so lots of racing this weekend between real life and virtual. So
Yeah.
that's nice for BRL.
I
We also have ACC as well. So
and I might do something weird, as I believe who's going to be the first one. Stig's going to be the first one to start a lap. I am fancying doing the iRacing Coca-Cola 600, doing all 400 laps, kind of like what BRL did for the RLX 24 earlier in the year, doing one of the special events. So we'll see.
fair enough. That's an endurance run, somewhat like this track, very short, but takes a toll on the driver, I would say, with all the
This
ups
track,
and downs. But
this layout, it is tricky. And if you get it wrong, it usually is going to end. First off, you're going to go off, but the barriers here are pretty close. You're likely going to get damaged, if not possibly go out of qualifying or even the race. So, requires full commitment.
does require full commitment. I would say the curbs are more deadly than anything else. You do have pretty wide gravel traps for the most part that you might be able to avoid nicking a wing. It's just having to deal with yeah, sorry, that threw me off for a second. Avoiding the curbs.
Well,
Some curbs you're allowed to touch, others you can't.
yeah, here comes Stig. Could be the first to complete a lap. He hasn't validated. I would say this though, especially for Q1, might see it become an issue in Q2. We saw this last year in real life. The traffic could potentially be something to keep an eye on, because as this is a long circuit, it's a very narrow circuit, especially Sector 3 as Stig has spun. And he's damaged his front wing. That's after he set a lap. Chandler just set one in the Ferrari, but
Yeah. It's hard to tell which blue is blue because there's so many blues out there. It's kind of a pain.
yeah. I could kind of say the same thing when it comes to Aston Martin and Mercedes, because previous game Aston Martin was pink, easy to find on the map. Now it's sometimes a bit tricky. But the Alpine and the Williams is harder to determine who is what.
KP21 starts an L lap. Who else is going to put down a time? Ferrari not had a 12 flat, essentially. Phantom does a 13.3.
Yeah.
Taylor's up to 11.8.
Peter Hunter's about to finish his lap. And take a look at the points while everyone's doing their first attempt. So Taylor leads the championship with 114 points after 7 races. He's 27 points clear of Shazam, who has 87 points. Boss Cookie's P3 with 85 points. He's 2 back of Shazam for second place. Chandler P4 with 81 points. P5 is Alphanese with 56 points. And then P6 is a tie between Veyron and Zach with 44 points. However, Zach has the tiebreaker with having the best result this year, which is second place at Canada. Nico 2 points behind them in P8. Ferrari is in P9 with 36 points, and Wraith, he's not been here in a bit, but he occupies P10 with 22 points. And for the constructors, Mercedes leads with 221 points. They have a 22-point lead over Red Bull, who has 199 points. Ferrari's P3 with 131 points. McLaren's P4 with 97 points. And P5, P6, P7. AlphaTauri has 41 points. Alpine's 1 point behind them, and P6 with 40. And Aston Martin's P7 with 38 points. And then P8 is Williams. P9 is Alfa Romeo with 4 points. And Haas F1 is in 10th, yet to have a score a point this season.
Yes, and while you were going through those points, Zach was able to put himself second to his teammate, although on different tire. Deer Hunter going for a second run on the mediums. So, lots of guys getting their laps in provisionally now, trying to see what more time they can dig out of it. Heatwave sets himself with a decent time. He's a little bit off Deer Hunter, but Chandler's the fastest so far, about a second off of everybody else in that Ferrari for medium runs so far.
Yep, Chandler going back to
Taylor
again on mediums, so.
Taylor and Boss Cookie, I know, are doing a run. They're coming down to the end of it.
Well,
Taylor going to pit. He's going to give it everything. Does he improve?
Well, I just
by a bit.
asked a question in the chat, which we'll see if this will change. Actually, Q2 would be interesting because it's supposed to be a wet start.
A wet start to Q2. So if you can maybe get the time. No, well, it depends. You'll have to see if people do a final run at the end of Q2. But like, you could set a good position on inters.
Well, the thing is, though, it gets away of the tire compound rule. So, you know, in circumstances of Q2, that's the race tire you're supposed to start on. I'm pretty sure that's going to end in F1 2021 with that not actually being a rule in real life. But you don't have to worry about that. So you could just strap on softs. Heck, if, you know, as Chandler goes, he's going to start his second attempt, and Bosco goes to pole.
Oh. Chandler's already had 2 slides in Sector 1. I don't think this is going to be his time.
Well, he's going on the medium compound. That maybe suggests. I mean, he's for sure has the pace to, I don't think, not worry about it, but I think he's using these medium sets in Q1 just to save the soft sets for later, so.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much bowed out of it at this point. Ron starts a lap. Let's see. We have Veyron off. Trying to stay out of the way of Sprightly. Sprightly on an out lap. Veyron was on an out lap, but he's invalidated. He's gonna go for it, but I don't think he's got the run. Still has an invalidated time, so maybe no good for him. Alphanesis is on his out lap.
Does anyone know why the Nico and okay, I guess Phantom had an issue, I guess. What's the 2 cars that won't make it to Q2? I think we have a funny at Sector 3.
Yeah.
It's been flashing yellow, and there's not a car in there. It's approaching 8 minutes and 30 seconds here, and Veyron's invalidated. He's not put a time on the board yet.
Ron does improve a bit, but I'll seed him 11th for now. Everyone else still has a few laps to do. 2 drivers out could give him a good shot into Q2 for the Alfa Romeo. Maybe one of them could make it out.
Yep. Veyron's having a second go. He's on medium, so we'll see if he can match his. Oh! No, he won't. He'll be able to save it, not hit anything, but. Oh.
Sprightly's retired, and Sprightly's crashed just ahead off track. So that's the end of Sprightly's run as well, unfortunately. Still sets himself 15th, so the other drivers must set a lap or else they will be eliminated. Chandler had to get out of it. Supply Raptor might be able to get through. But that might be some penalties for blocking a lap. I don't know. We'll have to see. And Supply Raptor gets a little bit of a loss of traction after the curves, so I don't know if the mediums are offering the grip that people need. Maybe it's just the cars not offering the grip that people need. I know this track is a little unforgiving. It's pretty heavy on the wings, so 11-11 from what I heard.
With this medium compound, sometimes it's really the second lap on it. It really starts to fire up, where you get more pace. Supply hard in the wall. He is done. He clipped I think he got too low on the track there and actually clipped the curb and it's basically shot the car straight to the wall. So he's done. That's 4 now retired. I'm gonna guess Nico retired in the pits for an issue. I don't know why.
I don't know. I would say Ron retiring at this point is probably safe for him with as many cars that are out. I think he's pretty much through.
Well, he's got 4 cars below him that won't make it to Q2. Veyron and Shazam, in theory, should be able to put a time on the board. Thomas, though, I don't know. I wouldn't have retired.
Well, I guess with team orders, you already have a guy that you know is going to make it to Q2. He's just got to bump out Supply Raptor or Phantom's time.
So I just actually got word that Miniko actually crashed out, so unfortunately.
Track is just not planning out to many of the drivers. That might spell out for a few safety cars, broken wings.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of drama could be going into the race, so.
Wait, that's just on the normal race. We're gonna have a wet start, so just add that to the mix.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to see how that pans out for our drivers. I'm seeing a tire on the track. Could be a visual glitch. Maybe some of the drivers are seeing it, but Toneless goes faster than Ron, but Ron is still safe in his position, even though retired.
He is
for him.
Safe at the moment, but Petra and Veyron are on outlaps. And I hate to say this, he has no choice but to sit and watch. That's why I was like, I don't know if he should have retired, because you just leave your fate now in other people's hands. And we saw this last season at Monaco. A couple of drivers retiring in Q1, maybe it was Q2, and they thought they were safe when the last couple minutes they weren't safe. They got knocked out. So, nice lap by Toneless though to get P10.
Very nice lap from Toneless. We got, I think, the game pulling some funnies with these yellow flags. I know some drivers are driving slow, but
yeah.
Nobody's crashed out in Sector 1 for a yellow to be thrown, so.
Yeah, it's been flashing pretty much in that part of Sector 3 as Capture has a little bit of a moment there.
I think that was a bit of a wrestling with the car. It did give her the turn-in that she needed by wrestling with those tires, so it seemed to help for the moment, but will not help with temps.
Right now to get into Q2, as Cash is really fighting it. Ignore the tire that you see on screen, by the way. P9. So
P9. Pretty safe.
I forgot there was
pretty safe.
Hold up. I forgot there was 19 people in this lobby, not 20. So right now Ron is safe. Oops. My bad.
Yeah, so we're all good there at least. I don't think anybody else really needs to go for another run.
So Bayron chooses up to P10, Ron's not in the top 15.
Ron has been knocked from the top 15 by, I think KP21. How is that possible with Supply Raptor having a... Oh, Supply Raptor did go faster.
Supply Raptor did go faster, and yeah. So pretty much we already know who's going to not go into Q2 now. That'll be Ron, Phantom, Sprightly, and Miniko. So
yeah, Bayron puts himself into a decent time. Catcher did a second lap and improved by only a slight bit, but was still an improvement.
Well,
Bayron has to abandon this lap.
I would say right now, with the fact that basically Q1 is over, there's no point in going out right now. There's no point in wasting another set right now. If you want to throw in a used set, go ahead if you want. No point. Not worth the risk because there's nothing to gain at the moment.
Yeah, Chandler and Deer Hunter have been using this for practice. They've done 8 and 6 laps on their medium tires. They're just,
not a bad idea.
I don't think they have any intention to use this set anyhow, and they still have a fresh set for the race, so.
I think, you know, the ones that use mediums, I think that was kind of sort of, I think, intentional. Just, so like I said again, to save that set of softs, knowing that you don't have to abide the Q2 start rule, given the fact that it is going to be a wet race, so.
Yeah, so that's why a lot of these drivers are out on mediums if they have the pace. Many of them do. Anybody else finishing a lap? I think that's just Deer Hunter doing another run. Heatwave is on a run. Still safe in 11th. Catra into the pits. I think that's it for most people's quali at this point. Chandler's going to get at least one more lap in of practice for himself, so that's nice. He's done 9 laps. It's a 36 lap race. He's already done 9-10 laps on one set, so he's done a third of the race in quali so far.
Well,
A few other drivers thinking about it too. KP21 does have another lap, but he's bailed out to stay out of people's way.
Yeah, partly also, hey, just bring it in. Just.
I agree. Makes it nice and simple and easy. Well then. What to do? What to do? With a wet start, I guess you go as far as you can on the inters that I'm guessing they're going to start on.
It hurts. It depends. I mean, it says it's going to be wet. We'll see how heavy the rain's going to be at the start. Read somewhere where it says supposed to rain for 10 to 15 minutes. However, I could attest this from Spall last week in Tier 1. We had the same message of when it was supposed to rain, and it, well, let's just say, did not go to plans. So, we'll see.
Fair enough, yeah. Sometimes it pours, sometimes it didn't come for Tier 4s. We didn't have the safety car, and it didn't pan out.
Well, if you remember,
Got it right at the end, but no one had to jump to the other tire.
if you remember Tier 2 at Imola, we had
Oh yeah.
we had one of the Alpines, can't forget who it was, maybe it was Titan. He started enters, and everyone was like, we were like, that's kind of questionable with him. He had the safety car, and by the time the safety car ended, it was enters conditioned, and he actually made up time. So there are gambles that you could play. It's just if you want to be bold enough to do it.
Yeah, Boss Cookie sets himself with a very strong lap for Q1 so far on the softs. 10.3. A lot of other drivers on the mediums doing just a bunch of banker laps. Don't think this was the serious mode that we were looking for. No one really using 2 sets of tires, so there is that. I know Taylor's going to want to have a pretty strong qualifying to keep his position in the championship. There isn't a lot of overtaking, and especially in the wet with no DRS, overtaking might be even harder. So quali might get a little bit more aggressive from here on out.
Yeah, interesting enough. You only have 14 people here, so we're technically maybe missing someone. We'll have to see.
I don't know if someone disconnected. Maybe we are at 20 or something happened with that. We'll have to see.
Anyways, well, we'll deal with that. We'll need it later. So let's take a look. People leaving track. So what?
Ferrari Nut takes the early run out, though. He gets ahead of the parade.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's pretty much on. Everyone's on softs except Bayron out there. He's the lone medium runner at the moment.
Just in case it's a dry start, maybe it's worth it, but I'm not sure he can get up there. I mean, he can probably beat out an Alpine, the Alfa Romeo, and an Aston. Catra might be a pain. Heatwave would definitely be a pain.
Well, what I'm interested to see is we've had Chandler go P2, if not mistaken, in Q1 on the medium compound. Did not even touch the soft. Now he's on the soft. What pace does he have with that Ferrari at this track? Because Ferrari, they seem to have more form this season, than they did last year. They're somewhat more competitive. Perhaps better drivers. Don't know. Maybe there was a patch update. I can't remember. But they've been more up front this season than they've been in the prior, so.
And for a few races, Chandler wasn't even in the seat. They had a few reserves come in. Zach's been mostly doing the toll. He's gotten some good results in the meantime, and Chandler's always been up there. So Ferrari's just been quietly plugging away at some very strong results.
Oh, we
shouldn't be discounted.
I believe that is Ferrari net off. Yes, indeed it is.
I don't know if that's wing damage. Probably not. Might have just touched a curb that threw him out. It's pretty common around here.
Yep.
Still has the purple because he's the fastest driver out. Or first driver out, rather. Yeah, that's going to change. So, Deer Hunter and Veyron coming through. Deer Hunter doesn't invalidate. His teammate's not too far behind.
Well, I guess it can't be too much serious damage because Ferrari Nut's back at it again.
No, I think it was just the spin. He probably took care of the tires and away he went. Taylor sets himself with a 10-8. But there's Chandler with a 10-4.
4 tenths clear of the Red Bull, which in this game, you know, the Red Bull and the Mercedes, those are the two best cars in terms of pace. So that is a really good lap by Chandler. Unknown if the Ferrari...
Shazam doesn't quite get him, but he does split Taylor and Chandler with himself into P2 for now. Lots of drivers trying to get a lap done. Patra on an out lap. Heatwave, I think, is just starting another lap, but he invalidates there.
that might be a this and next. We'll see.
That might be a this and next. He goes to the pit, so I'm going to assume so.
Yeah, I am as well.
Zach's on an out lap.
At least he has the ability to come into the pits if he does that here. Because Singapore, if you get that at Singapore, you can't. It is the worst because you literally already just passed pit lane.
Yes, I definitely agree. Ferrari Nut does improve, puts himself with an 11.9 for now, but I think he's got more room to go.
Yeah, his teammate right now through sector 2, no, sector 1, I'm sorry. We've had 6 set a time. Bayron's the only one that set a time on mediums. KP21 just sets time.
He's gonna go in again.
Yeah.
I think he had an issue on his lap somewhere, so I think a little bit in the third sector he lost some of it. So Gatra improves quite a bit.
Yeah.
Puts herself on the board with an 11.6. Bad. What did Zach do? 11.1. Puts himself P4. Second row. Not bad.
I think that's Ferrari not pitting.
Alphanisa starting his lap. Is that Stig finishing his lap? It is. He's got a 12.7 in the bag. Puts himself P9 for now. He's still got to fight out KP21 Toneless.
Yep.
And probably somebody else for P10.
I can't tell if Catcher's trying to do another lap or just hustling to get back to the pits. Nope. She's just hustling to get back to the pits. So Boss Cookie has come out and he has medium set strapped up. So we'll see what that is.
Alphanesis is on a run. Let's see what he can push out. See if the Merc can put himself right up there with his teammate. Or better. I don't know if he had an invalidation. That was weird on my screen.
The timing glitch was certainly weird on my end as well. Looked like going, he is not on a 40-second lap time. Just say. So I think timing and scoring is a little skewed on my end. So we'll just.
Could be a desync issue, yeah. It's pretty typical for this game.
Yeah.
Deer Hunter on a run. Set a purple in Sector 1.
It's already set a time, so we'll see if there's any improvement in this. This goes by the AlphaTauri there. About a half a tenth improvement so far through Sector 2.
Probably just loses out a little bit in the corners compared to a Ferrari and a Red Bull, but McLaren showing it's got some straight line speed at least.
So 2/10 quicker, still stays P5, but gets a little bit closer to Zach, who has, oh, that's Veyron that spun.
Boss Cookie goes second fastest on a set of mediums compared to Chandler Soft, so Boss Cookie thinks he's got the pace. He's definitely put himself right up there with a very competitive time on a harder set of tire.
So right now, Toneless is the only one that's not set a time. Right now, Ferrari Nut holds the final transfer spot with a 111.911. It is roughly 9/10, give or take, above Stig, who's in P11. So Heat Wave.
Get it across the line.
So Heat Wave pushes Ferrari Nut out. Now the P10 time is a 111.868.
And Ferrari Nut's improving on his run, so maybe Ferrari Nut will take it right back. We'll have to see.
He does.
And he does. He moves up right to his teammate. 8 and 9 for the AlphaTauris. Puts Heat Wave back into the threat zone.
Yeah, that puts Veyron on the bubble with 111.852. He's 10th quickest, but he's gone off.
So that's not going to give him a whole lot to do. Oh, when he's lost it, he's taking his wing off, so he's going to have to run back to the pits. It's not going to be easy with the broken wing.
He's got 5 minutes, and luckily he still gets some wing attached there, so he doesn't have to worry about really going awfully too slow. Here's Heat Wave. One moment he was in the top 10, and then just like that, it bumped out.
Back to P11. Alphanesis has left the session, so yeah, I think that was a bit of a timing glitch.
Hopefully we can get Alphanesis back in here. Shazam retires from P3. I think that's pretty safe. We get Stig. Big P21 are outlap. Stays at P13, P14. Jack B's just starting. Or he's doing his lap on
Can he
mediums.
improve? Can he improve on mediums to change his starting tire? He did a pretty okay lap on the softs.
I mean, in a perfect world, sure. But unless it's not going to rain hard at the start to where you're going to be on slicks, it's going to be a moot point. So, sure, it covers that base if needed, but...
Well, I mean, his teammates on the softs, so to get off of the same strategy.
Stig is attempting to have up. He's going to have to find, give or take,
A lot more.
he's going to have to find basically a second of pace in this Williams.
Maybe it was just in the final sector. Maybe he had a bit of a wiggle in the stadium. He can take it back here, though. It's up 3/10. That's a little bit better.
AP21 is beginning his, I'm not going to say final go. Stig. Gonna have to be
Yeah, for a
big
Stig.
number.
It's a good improvement, but not quite enough.
No. Needs to find
But-
basically another half a second.
Yeah, a very valiant effort for the Williams, though. He just probably doesn't have quite the pace.
Looking at AP21. About a tenth and a half up through sector 1. Let's see what he does for sector 2.
Both the McLarens are starting a lap, but yeah, KP21 should be the next one to finish a lap. Does have a bit of an improvement, but
It's 2.5.
I think a lot of his was a wiggle at the end.
Here's Heat Wave. He is through sector 2. Oh, he invalidates. He's got the battery to do it, so he just needs to let that recharge to have another go. I don't know if he realizes he has invalidated. He won't have enough time to pit here. So, okay, there's the battery going up. Oh.
Yeah, he's got little options besides doing just another run.
He's gonna have to do that. Luckily, the fuel light's not on, so he should be good to have another go. This will be likely his last attempt. Well, yeah.
A lot of the top runners have all pitted. Deer Hunter did pretty good in the last sector at his last run, but going for another run.
Let's see what he was. Matches to sector 1. It's very close between him and Veyron for P10. Catro's up about
Castro-
4/10.
Yeah, she's gonna improve to keep herself safe. But, back down, let's see. Oh, that was Heat Wave.
Yeah, Heat Wave's not really gaining. Veyron was about 2/10 quicker so far. This will be, I think that's it for Heat Wave as the fuel light is on, so I don't know if he has enough fuel to have another go. Oh, he holds P10 for now.
So it's up to Veyron to make the magic happen. Veyron's bowed out. So
Oh.
that's it for
That'll be
Veyron.
it. So Heat Wave barely gets in. Well done.
Yeah, he snags it. So
Interesting.
cutoff line is an 11.6.
So I noticed
And,
the fuel light
yeah.
is on for Bayron. I wonder if he's out of fuel or if that's the issue, because he was 2/10 up.
He was up. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, but it's not enough in the end. Katra probably coming into the pit.
So one thing that
Crossing the white line. Katra.
So looking at the top 10 as AP21's yet to cross the line, he's now finished, so that's it. That's official. Everyone in the top 10 qualified on softs except Boss Cookie in P2. He went on mediums, so he can be afforded to be a little bit more aggressive. Plus, also, with this being potentially a wet start, one thing that you don't have to worry about in this race is the tire rule of having two different compounds being used in the race. So theoretically, it can stop raining and you can just throw on softs every time you come in. Or throw on mediums. Whatever you choose. If you want to be bold and put on hards, put on hards. Wouldn't recommend it.
I wouldn't recommend hards around here. I don't think hards are really worth it in this game per se. Hopefully the next game they're more relevant. We see a little bit more of the medium hard one stop that we're somewhat realistically used to, but
I would say, I know we don't go there this season, and I'm trying to hark back from last season. I do know in F1 2020, hards, you could use hards at like Singapore to check for hards. I always look at hards up. If I'm your engineer, I'm putting you on hards. It's not been the best of starts. We're just gonna throw hards on. And we're gonna hope for a safety car. That's it.
yeah, it better be Singapore or Hungary. Otherwise, I don't know. And even still, I think this game it swapped to pretty much a one stop at Hungary for soft medium anyhow. So, but on to Q3.
Indeed. I got confused today. So I was you speaking Monaco this weekend. I always thought they did Monaco practice on the Thursday and not the Friday. So I was trying to look for it today, and it wasn't on. I was like, wait a minute. I thought it was always on the past. It was always on Thursday. They had the party Friday. I can't remember.
Maybe, but I guess different because of other something else going on.
Yeah, that was just weird.
Because I think they already had this set up because they did the historic event, no?
Oh, yeah, they did. But I always thought they had like a activities thing on Fridays. Friday night will lead the charge. And everyone has either gone out on softs or has softs out already.
Yeah. It's a little silly that one driver in the grid realistically can look out his front door and there's the track I'm racing at today. So that's an interesting one for Charles. So
Yeah. Well, actually, no. He's from Monaco, born from Monaco, but he's not the only one that lives in Monaco. I mean, Daniel Ricciardo has a place in Monaco. I think, yeah, a handful of drivers actually have a place there. So, but yeah, it is unique for Charles. Like literally, he could just walk out, just walk to the racetrack, and then just walk back.
this is my home track at getting out of my house, you know, like it's as good as it gets. Talk about a short commute.
Yeah.
Taylor's going to start us off after his short commute of an outlap. See what he can set down. Everyone should probably be on the softs this time around.
Yeah, everyone is. Busy track. Everyone's out. Oh, the McLaren Deer Hunter has spun.
He's got cars inbound, so hopefully...
I don't think he has any damage, but that was on his outlap, so... Go down his tires.
Taylor doing well to hold it together. Getting close to the curb, not touching it, having a very nice apex through. Setting the obvious purple time.
Yeah.
What does he have coming to the line? He's got one more corner to go.
Ooh.
10-4.
10-4.
Ferrari Nut's got a 10-3. Shazam's got a 10-4 as well.
Boss Cookie
Few
just
tenths
validated
off
that's going to be a distant next, and that will see him come to the pits.
Yeah. Chandler on his way out. Saxon validated. Heatwave is on his way through. What he can... I think he's had some issues earlier where he slowed up, so I think he's going for this lap now. Yeah. Catra's bowed out of this lap. Maybe had a spin or touched a curb. And is into the pits. Let's see. Deer Hunter did have his spin. He's recollected himself though. What can he do to the line?
Luckily his spin was early, so his tires could have got cooled. 11.2.
Currently P3. Alpha Nice is into the pits.
That wraps up kind of the first go for guys, as it looks like Boss Cookie has left the pits. I believe that's Boss Cookie.
Sam's had a bit of a moment, yep. So he's gonna head back to the pits.
So Boss Cookie and Chandler have rejoined the track, and they'll have their second attempt. I know Boss Cookie validated his lap. I don't know about Chandler.
Okay, Heatwave's had an issue in the final corner, and he's trying to recollect it, but yeah, not good for him so far. He's gonna get it back to the pit in time at least, but
let's see if he starts this lap. No, he goes to the pits. So the only two really on track that matters right now is Chandler and Boss Cookie, because they're about to start their laps. As I believe Deer Hunter's going to pit. And I don't know if Deer Hunter's going to have another go. Sorry about that. Denise comes out.
Deer Hunter getting as many runs as he can. Yeah, Boss Cookie on his run. Chandler about to start a run. Maybe they're trying to time it out. Taylor just got on his out lap, so maybe they're going to work out a toe near the end. But I don't know.
Taylor's going to have to let the McLaren Deer through, and he does. Purple for Sector 1 for Boss Cookie, but I think that's a personal best, not session best at the moment. Farther, Boss and Chandler, they've kept it validated, they've not gone off. It's purple for Sector 2 for Boss Cookie. Let's see what it is. We'll go by his teammate Taylor there. And I guess maybe Taylor's going to use Boss Cookie as a toe.
It's going to be the other way around on the toe, but yeah, Taylor's going to get a bit of a run. Boss Cookie sets himself with a good time. Teammate pulling him all the way. Boss Cookie going into the runoff to give his teammate all the room as possible.
Yeah.
What did Chandler set? Chandler goes second. The 10-3-1-5, so not bad so far. Zach on his way out of the pits.
Okay. Taylor's coming to the end of Sector 1. Let's see if there's any improvement with that toe. 1.23. Oh, I'm sorry, 0.1.
Yeah, enough to get over Chandler, though, if he can finish the lap with that.
Oh, he invalidates.
So it's all for naught. Alphanesis improving, setting a personal purple in secondary, so we'll have to see.
Yeah,
It's enough to the line.
Deer Hunter backed out a bit.
It's a 10.5, so right beside his teammate, but not much faster. Here to the pits. Taylor's probably going to go for another run. Boss Cookie into the pits.
Let's get enough fuel in the battery life to have another go. He was slightly improving on that previous lap by a little over the 10th. Let's see what it is this time around.
Yeah, Alphanesis didn't go for another run, so it just should be Taylor.
About the same, a 10th improvement.
I know Heatwave's in behind doing a lap, and so is Zach. They're the only three on a lap currently. Alphanesis should be on an in lap. 3 minutes to go. No other movement from the pit so far.
Going through the second gear straight.
Heatwave's gotten out of the way for Zach.
Taylor.
They've had a moment.
Taylor's improved by a little over 3/10, so he is on target for pole if he can just keep it together.
Oh, he has a bit of a moment. He has to save it. He's off track, so it's not going to be it for this run. He's going to try to maybe run back to the pits, get some more fuel, and get back out there in time. He should just have enough time to get back out there.
He should.
But we'll see. He's been stopped because his teammate's on his way out. That might be the end of it. His teammate might have sealed the deal on that one by having to go.
I mean, this is going to be a quick in and out, but he might be able to have enough time. It's going to have to be very quickly as 2 minutes and 20 seconds approaching.
Zach moves himself up into P6 with a 10.8. Probably going to try and get another lap in at the end here.
This is going to be the quickest turnaround we've ever seen through qualifying, as Shazam is leaving the pits. Both Mercedes cars are actually leaving the pits at the same time. Chandler's going to lead the parade of people starting their last laps. And I don't think Taylor's going to be able to get out to have another go. Up, here he comes. He's leaving now.
He's got to still run to get to that line.
I think he will barely be able to make it. Oh, Zach the Beats has retired. I believe that's in the pit lane? Yeah.
In the pits. In the pits, yeah. He doesn't have time to get back in and out for another lap. I guess he doesn't have the fuel for it.
I think he'd left and didn't realize he didn't have enough time. Chandler's up a little bit through sector 1.
Up 2/10. That would be just about enough to take over pole for now.
Yeah, Boss Cookie's slide
Hold it to the line.
Slide improvement in sector 1.
The Ferrari take pole here today. Provisionally, it's a 9.9. It's going to be a little bit more. Boss Cookie's going to have to find it. Same with Taylor. Taylor's still on his out lap. He might be able to make that line.
It's going to be close.
He's going to make it by about 5 seconds. Yep. So it was a close one.
He needs to be about 0.130 or faster to get pole. Here comes Boss Cookie. He's done it.
And Boss Cookie takes it. He takes it by that little bit more.
So Taylor's going to have to find a little over 6/10 here. He finds 2.237 in sector 1.
Well, we still have the two Mercs on their way through. They still have their lap to do. Can they snatch pole from both the Red Bulls at this point? Not quite from Alpha Nesis. What can Shazam do? It's a little bit of an improvement. It's going to push Taylor down if Taylor can't improve. Deer Hunter, I think, was also on a run, but he's invalidated. So that's it for him.
Taylor's nearly 4/10 improvement. I don't know if the AlphaTauri held him up a bit or not. We'll see. Keeps it on the track. Hasn't been validated.
He's up 3/10. It's just enough to push Chandler back by the smallest of fractions. And that is a Red Bull 1-2 and a Ferrari 3. Some lightning round laps at the end there. Very close. And the very smallest fraction between Taylor and Chandler with the Red Bull and the Ferrari on the soft. So maybe it shows the Ferrari has the pace.
Well, I will say, though, we'll see what's really going to happen. I'm going to assume by the pace that none of these guys really, well, maybe some of the guys P6 on down, maybe use the wet setup. I highly doubt it because it's not a full wet race.
Well, I can imagine that it might be a little bit hybridized for the race. Yeah. We'll have to see as we get on, but overall, I don't think pace will be the issue. It's kind of hard to put down this one-lap slap with all these curbs and whatnot, but that is a wet start.
It is wet. I think it'll be interconditioned though, so I don't see a lot of puddles, so I think it's going to be an inter-start. Waiting for the lobby to get to the lobby to calm down.
And here we are, yeah. 10 seconds to go before our form lap. Oh, right. Let's get through the grid. He's got a nice start. Boss Cookie on his way through. Got Chandler, Taylor, Alpha Nesis, Shazam, Zach, Deer Hunter. Oh, we've already got people moving up. Heatwave slid up. Catcher's there with Pharaon. Toneless right in there. Stig, KP21, Supply Raptor, Ron, Phantom, Sprightly, and Minico. Two Hasses starting from the back, so we'll have to see how they get on with the wet weather. A lot of gaps are forming in this crowd here, though. Zach is supposed to keep up with the car ahead, but I don't know. Everyone else is kind of running away at random paces, so we'll have to see.
Well,
Deer Hunter's got to keep to the car ahead, but the car ahead is supposed to be Zach, and he's far back. I don't know what's going on.
well, maybe as long as he doesn't hit anybody, he'll be okay.
Oh, what is going on back here? Phantom is off after Stadium Sector, so Taylor's joined, so he's back in his seat for the race start, I hope.
Only Steph has left.
So we'll have to get him back in.
So, so it, I, this is going to be interesting because the rain is here, but it's not raining hard enough to produce puddles. So whenever this rain does stop, I think you're going to see drivers pit for softs as soon as they can. Because the conditions aren't that bad. I mean, yeah, they're wet, but there's no puddles.
That is a very weird red lights, but they are off.
Everyone's trying to get traction. Oh, I guess
Taylor doesn't have the greatest traction, but looks like Taylor is out, so the Mercs are able to slide in through. Alphanesis and Shazam making up early positions on the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. Everyone's sliding their way through the ghosted car right now.
so far everyone kind of keeping it clean.
Clean through the crowd. Some movement at the back. Phantom's made up some positions. Minico's made up a few positions as well. Seems Sprightly didn't have the best start, but other drivers not doing well with the wet so far. Doesn't look like anybody's wing is broken, so...
Tell you someone that is doing well the wet is Boss Cookie. He is shot out 1.1 in the lead after 2 sectors. And looks like Taylor hasn't rejoined yet. Let's see.
Right now that's seen him down to P6, so not been a great start for him, unfortunately.
Let's see if I can. There. Is it's weird. It looks like I think he's back now.
No, he's still ghosted. Oh, maybe he is back. There's a little bit of a tail happy, but I don't know if that was just AI.
I don't think the AI will do that. We'll see.
I think they're still programmed for mistakes, but I don't know. Maybe it's just a visual glitch for us.
Minico has pitted. I guess he had an issue on his opening lap. He was up 5
Took
spots.
some wing damage.
So, yep, Boss Cookie leads Shazam by 1.2. Shazam has basically the same gap over Chandler. Chandler has Alphanese all over him, about 2/10 back. And a pretty...
Yeah, but Chandler's gotten ahead of Alphanisa, so... hard to say. Zach's gotten ahead of, I think, Taylor, who's back, but...
Interesting. It does still,
There is a
this does show,
big gap for him.
does still show Taylor is basically hologram. So here's Shazam thought about it on Chandler, but thought better against it.
Yeah, there's a bit of a gap in front of Deer Hunter, so if Zach and Taylor get themselves up there, I think Ferrari Nut might look at that as well.
Yeah. Of course, with the wet conditions, they won't have DRS. DRS will not be enabled until race control deems it allowed. Of course, it's going to have to stop raining, and the track's going to have to dry up. So, and usually that's the sign when you know it's time to go for slicks. That's when drivers try to make that crossover when they anticipate DRS being active. Actually, Shazam's kind of closed in a little bit on Boss Cookie, just slightly, not much.
Closed in a little bit, pulled away from Chandler a bit, but Alphanisa's still all in the back of Chandler. Zach trying to close it in to his teammate by getting around Deer Hunter if he can.
So we're going to go off of Jeff, which, if anyone knows, Jeff in this game is, well, very consistent, to say the least. So, Jeff said in the message thing, rain in 10 to 15 minutes. So, let's take a look.
And Toneless goes around the outside of Phantom at turn 1. Good move from him to try and get ahead and get on going with that Alfa Romeo. Try to get back into some points if possible.
So, with Boss Cookie doing a 1 minute 20-second lap time, that's theoretically, if Jeff is right, 15 minutes would be 11 laps that the rain should end or start to end. And if
Heat wave's been off into the gravel, so that'll see him down to pretty much the back.
So, looking at possibly between laps 7 to lap 11 might be the area where this rain should stop. That's if the report from this qualifying holds up. That can always change. Shazam's really boss cookie, by the way.
It's closing it in. It could be a murk day. Shazam definitely wants this championship, while Taylor is a bit out of it with his connection issue.
Let me see if there's been any messages in the chat.
I don't think there's been too much talk in the chat. Usually isn't too much. I know Curbsy said, let's go miniature company. So that's Minico as his little taunt at him, perhaps.
Well, I think Taylor's having an issue I was having actually last night, which is an Xbox Live issue. So
His ghost has gotten around Deer Hunter, though.
the way his ghost is allegedly driving, I don't think
It looks like it's him driving.
It does. It does. It's usually
I just know his pace is stronger.
well, he is.
Riley's had an
I think
issue.
a lot of his time that he dropped off was because he wasn't actually perhaps in the lobby. That the way he was getting swarmed up seemed like the time he was not in the car. Now I think he's in it. It's just now actually it looks like
He's still ghosted, but he seems to have pace and running away from Deer Hunter. So like, I'm really confused.
yeah.
Maybe it's a visual glitch. Maybe it's a glitch because he was out that he's just perma ghosted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty nice. He can now make a dive on everybody. What's going on, Potato? What's going on, Curbsy?
It looks like the rain has stopped.
It has. There's still a lot of spray, so maybe another 2-3 laps.
Working lap 6, and the rain has looked like it has indeed stopped. I don't see a lot of spray coming off of these cars. So
I don't see much of a dry line yet, and there seems to be a lot of spray from what I'm seeing.
well, I mean we've seen worse, but what I think what's going to happen real quick, I think this track is going to dry up really, really fast now, to where
It is drying very fast. You're right. Dry line is slowly starting to form already, but
we'll see.
we'll have to see who's going to jump for it and when.
So far, no one in the back has thought about it. Heatwave, ooh, he caught the wall a little bit coming off of the far corner. Let's see what Minico does. Does he
I
throw?
don't think Minico will pit yet.
No.
I think it's another lap or two.
You always kind of wonder who's going to be the first one to jump, and usually in this case, it's usually someone perhaps in the back did not get a good start or had something to go wrong and wants to roll the dice and gamble. Because if you're up front, you don't want to do that because you might throw away a good result by doing that.
Well, pitting now would definitely be throwing
Well,
away a result, I think.
Boss Cookie thought a bit about it.
I don't know if that was just breaking the toe. Maybe that was a little bit of that. Maybe it was just to pop a gimmick. Playing mind games already. Alpha Nice is still on the back of Chandler, so bit of a train between the two of them.
Actually, what they're doing is not playing games. You mentioned the dry line that has been produced. They are going towards the pit wall because there's still moisture there to keep the tires cool.
Yeah, that's also true. More puddles there. Boss Cookie seemingly taking a slower time through here, knowing that his tires are probably a little bit warmer with the less amount of spray, but right now it's still a little bit wet.
There we go.
DRS enabled.
And
Here we go.
Heat waves the first one in.
He's looking at mediums, and I believe that's Minico also looking to come in.
So, kind of with this kind of right now, Red Bull's in a good position to pit both cars because they're spread out to the point where double stack won't take an effect. But Mercedes is quite close to each other. I think Minico, I guess he had to get a penalty removed. I don't know. That was a slow getaway. The McLarens are close together. The AlphaTauris are close together. Let's see if they double stack. Here comes everyone in.
A light contact between Boss Cookie and Shazam, but Boss Cookie is onto mediums. Shazam onto hards. I don't know if the hards are going to have any grip, and that might be a big deal.
It might not.
Alpha Nice is onto softs.
It just depends of how long this medium compound can survive. It is a fresh set, but yeah, the hard's could be a slower tire, but that hard tire, we probably can make sure it can go to the end. The medium might not.
As Zach and Ferrari Nut continued on with the fact that their teammates were in the pit, but they're quite slow compared to Boss Cookie on his way through. But that's one of them off. That's Shazam? Shazam off early on his hard stint. So maybe the hard's just not having the grip in the wet, especially. So doesn't seem to have any wing damage, but Taylor's now onto the back of him.
So Taylor actually had to do a full game reset, so hopefully that gets fixed.
Sprightly into the pit,
and here it is.
So he's on to the hards.
So Taylor has rejoined.
So yep, that's Ferrari Nut and Zach into the pits. That's gonna see his teammate through. And Alpha Nice's. Oh, there goes our Delta again, but thank you, Cody's. Shazam on his way through, gathering a few positions since a few pit stops were made, but he's not quite got the position I think he wants himself in. Veyron and Supply Raptor swapping positions. Veyron doing well on the hards. Was able to get around Supply Raptor, but could be a difference in car. Maybe Supply Raptor having more struggles with this little bit of wetness that's still present on the track.
Sector 3, who is that? I believe that is Stig going
Stig.
slow.
I don't know if I just have a visual glitch that the water is still coming down on my screen, but still got droplets on the screen. I know DRS is enabled. It's looking sunnier.
It might be something on your end, or just maybe at a certain part of the track where there might still be some leftover moisture, but the track looks fairly dry.
But yeah, that's Alpha Nice is through Chandler, through turn 1. Soft's having the grip, but Alpha Nice is probably needing to pit another time. Can't imagine the Softs being able to go that far.
No, he'll most likely have to pit one more
Zach
time.
needing to pit again for a new wing, so that's really hurt his race. He's going to be wanting a safety car at this point, I'm sure. 19 drivers, 11 laps in, and no safety cars yet.
No,
So
it's been fairly tame so far this start. We had the rain in the beginning and it dried up. Got a couple people had some issues, but other than that, it's been pretty tamed.
yep, Alphanese is trying to chase down Boss Cookie with the superior tire right now.
I think Chandler is trying to keep Alphanese within reach so that way he can stay in his DRS range. Boss Cookie runs.
Well, it's definitely the closest Chandler's kept to Boss Cookie in recent races. Normally, Boss Cookie's Red Bull has a little bit more pace and can run away, but oh, is that Minico or Sprightly off?
Sprightly, he has spun.
Oh, he's been into the wall.
Yeah, he has. He'll have to most likely pit for a new front wing.
Yeah, I don't think the hards are quite it, so he'll be into the box.
It's a hard compound. I mean, yeah, it's going to be hard to gain temperature and heat and grip. I think, though, if he's able to, it's really going to boil down to the question of, can these medium tires take it to the end? One, and two, if they can, how much pace are they going to have? You mentioned in qualifying, it is, KP21 has retired.
And that is KP21 out, yeah.
That's a safety
and that
car.
is a safety car.
Well, Alphanese says thank you very much, as he'll now most likely pit. And this kind of gives a reset. I believe Sprightly.
It's good for Sprightly. He just came out of the pit, so he'll be able to get around that safety car and catch up that time that he's quite down to with the leader. So
yeah, everyone's still on the lead. Actually, no, I believe Sprightly is one lap down.
Alphanesis into the pits.
Yep.
He's grabbed himself some mediums to the end.
Actually going to lose as much time as I think. Yeah, he's only going to go back to P6, so firing up pits as well. Veyron pits to get off that hard compound, which makes sense now that the safety car does come out.
New drivers on to new strategies, grabbing new sets of tires, grabbing new wings. Just gonna see Zach through a few positions though. He just gets Veyron out of the pit, so he's back up to P11. He might be able to scrap up some good points if he can continue on from there, but we'll have to see.
Well, so Shazam has decided to stay out on those 3-lap hard tires. So he's the only one outside of Stig that is on that hard compound. Phantom has stayed out on the 3-lap softs.
Yeah, he's on 3-lap softs. Maybe he's gonna make the last ditch dive later so that his mediums can go all the way.
Well,
Safety car should still have another 2 laps or so.
yes, I think no one else has pitted yet. Still waiting for Stig and Supply, Stig, Ron, Manico. They still have to come by the pit lane.
I mean, it might give him a good start on some of these other medium runners, and you never know. There could be another quick safety car with them all stacked up again, and then he's up a few places. So, if everyone reconsiders for a new set of softs, he can jump in for a new set of softs and keep his position. So, it could pan out. We'll have to see. I still don't know about the medium runner of Shazam, or the hard runner of Shazam up at the top, but Our delta is gone, but I don't think it's that important as of right now. KP21 has left. Thank you for staying with us, sir. So Minico and Ron and everybody else are going to be able to grab onto the back of the safety car. I think Sprightly, was unfortunately lapped, so that's going to be his race for the most part. Just waiting on Heatwave to gather to the back. I believe we'll be going after this.
Safety car should be in this lap.
Seems like Taylor's in, but still ghosted, so...
Yeah, I think he's having kind of that ish that just won't release the ghosting on his car, some sort of game glitch.
Yeah.
Nothing that he can do. He's tried to restart the Xbox twice in order to fix it, and it won't be able to be fixed.
I think he's just gonna have to run it. I don't think there's anything he can really do at this point.
That's what he's going to do. I mean, he's ghosted, but you know he's going to still try to make legit passes and overtakes.
He's the ghost bull. Come on, let's do it.
He is the ghost bull, but you still have to be proper with it. So it's just the hand he's been dealt with. That's not intentionally his fault.
Boss Cookie is gone. He's gotten an okay jump on some of the crowd. Deer Hunter tries to make a lunge. Taylor is 3 wide with Boss Cookie and Shazam, so bit of a scrap back here.
Chandler's still able to keep attached of Boss Cookie for now.
Catra and Ferrari Nut swapping places between teammates. Sure they were fighting it out for that one. Veyron seems to have lost out a little bit.
Yes.
Same with Zach. So, definitely not the start they wanted.
Well, still working lap 16, so there's still plenty of time to have a comeback. Probably wish it was at a different track for them, as it's hard to overtake, as that is Stig that has spun. He's moving though, as see if Chandler can kind of stay. Zach gets a 3-second penalty. That's the second penalty so far. Zach has pitted.
Oh, and that's a Mercedes off of Alpha Nisus. He's in the grass, and that's going to send him all the way down. It's just what Red Bull needs for their constructors.
Yeah.
This could pay out big towards what the constructors is. It's still on for Red Bull if they can hold this together with one Merc not getting points or not looking like points right now.
Yeah, yet right now Red Bull running P1 and P4.
Fly Raptor putting up a good fight, moving his way through. Heatwave moves his way through on that newer set of softs. Minico's moved up a lot of positions off of that safety car. He's up into P10. So he's just trying to hold off Aaron and others to hold on to points if he can.
Yeah, Supply and Miko, their two biggest mover-ups Nico's up 9 spots from starting position, mainly basically where he took the restart. And Supply's up to P8, who also crashed out in Q1. So good recovery drive for those two.
Boss Cookie doing well, having a very consistent run. Chandler's still 1 second out from that Red Bull though. They've pretty much dumped their battery to get away from everybody else, to stay in that DRS area, but we'll have to see. Gaps are starting to form. No one wants to stick around to make a bit of a chain. Bayron trying to get around Minico. Not a lot of room on track to make it done though.
So far, Chandler's...
Bayron will have DRS. Taylor's got DRS on Shazam, so there is that as well.
Yeah, Taylor's on the medium compound of Shazam's hard. See if Taylor can do anything about it. Looks to the outside. I know he's got the ghosting issue, but he cleared, just sails right by.
And they keep an appropriate distance. It's nose to tail, but it's cleanly through. Oh, Minico's had some issues. And he's let 3 drivers by in 1 corner. I don't know if that was because he had contact with Alphanesis. Alphanesis is, oh, maybe not. Just everybody else seemed to slip right through with Bayron. So, unfortunately, the Haas not having performance this year, but will be maybe more exciting next season.
I hope so.
Chandler still within that 1 second gap, trying to keep the second Red Bull away.
Yeah, he's been maintaining about being 7/10 off, so he's still keeping up with him. Keeping Boss Cookie honest.
Keeping him on his toes. Alphanesis and Heatwave fighting side by side through the stadium. And still side by side going through the track. Looks like Heatwave's gotten ahead for now. Someone's off in the stadium sector, but we'll see.
Does not have any damage, but looks like he looped at him on that area, so he got him to back up.
And Alphanesis will muscle ahead after being side by side for about 3-4 corners with Heatwave, so.
Yeah, that battle from about P9. Yeah, that's a little train that's formed about with 5 cars right there.
Yeah, Toneless kind of being the bottle top right now, holding a good P9 in the Alpha Romeo, so good on him. Come on, Toneless. You can hold them off.
Right away!
He doesn't quite have a tire advantage for it, but I just hope the Alfa Romeo can hold him.
Well,
Top group have kind of split away from each other, but
we've seen now this is a hard track to overtake. As here comes Katra on supply, or I'm sorry, who is that?
Yeah, it's on Supply Raptor. Catra's trying to chase them down. Alphanesis and Veyron making a move between each other. Alphanesis getting ahead through turn 1. Alphanesis trying to go outside of the Alfa Romeo. He does so. They're side by side going through the left for complex, but
so far Chandler has just been able to just sit right there.
Yeah, and Taylor without DRS can't really close in, and as long as Chandler is in Boss Cookie's DRS, he's essentially got Red Bull pace.
Yeah.
Veyron's had a moment though. That's going to see him down through the grid.
Yeah, that's...
So, McLaren not doing too well today.
Deer's having a good run.
Deere is doing a very good run. He's a bit alone up there, but like that's kind of what McLaren does best. Get up there and then be alone. P5 is
not a
as
bad
good as it
thing.
gets for McLaren.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah.
If you're running a quiet race, usually means not much going on. So
Yeah, Taylor's fallen off a little bit from the top two, but Chandler's been able to hold on to Boss Cookie so far.
and one thing I will see, we're working lap 22 here. You know,
Veyron into the pits, so he's good to the end on those softs.
Yeah.
Shazam has left the session, so we'll have to get him back in here. So that's not great. But Alphanesis into the points, so Mercedes able to scrap up a bit more points for their constructors, but they're still hurting. They need to get a little bit more to make it a little bit safer towards the end. Chandler and Boss Cookie is the closest fight on track besides Katra. And,
I don't have the, there, I have something to do with the screens coming back up now.
yeah, it won't let me swap through. I really wish they would fix their, stuff for this game, for the spectator menus and whatnot, but hopefully.
Yeah, we have a list. Trust me, there's other games that, it could be worse.
Yeah.
Trust me, I commentate from time to time on NASCAR. Is that up to me?
Shazam. He might have grabbed his car back from being away, and it threw him off from being in the mid-corner complex.
I unfortunately been in that situation. I had Butters a couple of seasons ago lag out, and when he did join in, car had no control and it went straight into the barrier. We were on for a podium that race, and that sucked.
Yeah, so that's going to see Shazam down, unfortunately. He might be able to get around Ferrari Nut again, but I'm not sure he'll be able to catch up to Deer Hunter. He's gotten quite a bit of a gap, so... Oh, is that Veyron off? It is. He's had more issues on that fresh stack of softs, so... He hasn't broken a wing, but his pace is not going to be anywhere, unfortunately. As the leaders are on their way through, so...
The closest Chandler's been already so far to Boss Cookie. He's only half a second down.
He's only a half a second down. He's really trying to hold it together, and he's doing a very good job in the Ferrari.
Very.
Could get around Boss Cookie towards the end, who knows, but...
It's going to be a tall order. But he is certainly closer now that he's been all race long.
Boss Cookie might be getting DRS soon off of Veyron, so there is that. If Veyron can run away, then it won't help Boss Cookie with a lapped car, per se.
So the supply rapid gets a 3 second. That's the fourth person to get a penalty so far in this race. Everyone else has all drivers have a 3 second penalty. Supply, Tack Stick, Veyron, all 3 seconds.
Shazam's gotten back through Ferrari Nut, so that's P5 for him. He's got a bit of a gap to Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
Might be able to get it with the last bit of pace from those hards compared to the mediums when the mediums fade out, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, right now, I mean, Heat Wave on the 11 lap softs. He's gonna have to pit soon. Thomas is kind of looking on here to maybe get a point. He's got Manico behind him, roughly 4.6 seconds back. Then you got Ron. Yeah. I don't see Heat Wave's tires lasting to the end of the race.
No, Heatwave might be pitting soon for another stack of softs to the end. We'll have to see.
He's closing. Just too far back to make the move, but you can just see now.
He's getting closer every time.
In real life, it's the Red Bull that seems to have the better race pace over the Ferrari, but in this race, it looks like it's Ferrari that has a better race pace over the Red Bull, as Chandler is all over the back of Boss Cookie.
He's chasing him pretty hard through every corner, but this is as close as he's been. Boss Cookie had a bit of a mistake in Sector 1, going into Turn 4, and I think that's what cost him that bit of time.
Well, I mean,
It's closed Taylor in about 0.6 of a second, so...
it has. Don't see any damage to the Red Bull. I don't think that's the issue.
I think it was just the one corner giving him a bit of a moment. That was about it.
Both. And yeah, Boss Cookie's not close enough to get DRS from McLaren ahead.
Chandler still closing in, not close as he was last time. We have somebody off. Is that Katra?
That is Katra.
Oh, she's been off, and I think into the wall at a point.
Yeah, she's missing.
Got broken wing.
Yeah, she's unfortunately gonna have to pit. So that will promote Heatwave and Toneless and Alphanese up a spot, as Katra will pit. Ideally,
If Heatwave can't get back through the crowd, or his tires will fall off, then Miniko might be able to snaggle a point.
that's going to be a tall order. He will have the pace advantage for sure on the compounds, but it is so hard to make a move here.
I think he'll have it in the pits. I don't even think he has to make the move around. I think Heatwave won't be able to make it on those softs, and will either pit or he'll just have no pace at all.
Well, I don't see those tires lasting longer. Chandler is a lot closer now as they go to the final corners of the front stretch.
Yeah, Taylor's closed in another 5/10 or so.
Boss knows that he goes defensive.
I don't know if Boss Cookie is having a hard time at the late stage and his teammate is closing in on him, or if it's just trying to back it in so it's a Red Bull sandwich. Or...
I don't know what the issue is. One thing, you know, Taylor's had to reset his Xbox the last couple of times, so I don't even know if he's in a race party or not. He could just be on his own. They're all on the equal.
He's almost 1 second out.
They're all on the same amount of, you know, tires. They're all on 18-lap mediums, so it's not like Taylor or Chandler has a tire advantage, or, you know, advantage just by lack of wear.
Yeah, Taylor is now into DRS, so...
Heatwave did get by Thomas Death. And yeah, Taylor's now in Chandler's DRS. That is the
Heatwave's off.
That's
So Miniko's going to slide through. So that could be points for Miniko right there, with Heatwave having that moment.
what a race would that be for Haas? All the trouble that they've had so far this season. It's not been because of the drivers. It's been a very uncompetitive car, but Miniko's had a heck of a race.
It's been quite a race up at the front indeed, and in through all of the crowd.
It's about to get really
So hats
interesting
off to all of them. Yeah, Taylor's right there. Boss Cookie and Chandler is right there. So we got a three-way fight with 7 laps to go. Taylor does have a bit of battery, but I don't know how he's going to be able to get around Chandler with DRS when they both have it, so...
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part, is I believe that's Phantom that has spun now. That's a VSC.
And that is a VSC, so Taylor and Chandler won't get a run this time. They will be able to reserve some battery.
Yeah, they will be able to do that.
Is anybody else thinking of the pit? Deer Hunter, are you thinking of the last second softs with your big gap? No, he's not gonna do it.
Long, the one
Zam doesn't think of it.
maybe Supply Raptor because he has a 13-second lead over Toneless, who's in P9. No?
He thinks again of it.
Once that came in were Stig and Phantom. Phantom just had his issue. Unknown of Stig. Maybe he just hitting for softs, just try to go for fastest lap and steal it from somebody.
So yeah, heat wave into the pits. We saw that his tires were pretty done on those softs, so he'll do another soft stint to the end, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he's going to fall behind Zach DeBeese and Ron, as the VSC has ended. So he might didn't lose as much time as he would have if he put it under green flag conditions, but I still think he's too far back of Manico to pose a threat for P10.
Chandler, I don't think got DRS.
No, neither did Taylor. They're both not within DRS range, so Boss Cookie timed the VSC restart very, very well, so Chandler's going to have to work to get back within that 1 second.
Phantom's had another spin at the back, so it's not going to help his run. Oh, that's Alphanesis through Ferrari Nut. He goes a bit deep into turn 1, but oh no, it was perfectly fine, my bad. Camera angle threw me off for a bit, so.
Oh, Boss
Not
Cookie
bad
runs
for
wide.
The two Mercs.
Almost loses it, keeps it on the track, but that just gave Chandler, as he closed in within that 1 second.
Or so.
Yeah, he did gain about 2 or 3 seconds.
Chandler's giving it everything to stay within DRS.
Yeah.
He might have it this time. I think he does.
Yeah.
He does have it this time.
So does
Same
Taylor.
with Taylor, though. They're all setting faster laps to get away from one another, so.
Yep, Nico still holds P10. He has Zach the Beast closing in the Ferrari. Zach also has 3 seconds of penalties, so theoretically, instead of being 3 seconds back of Manico, Zach needs to pass Manico and then open a 3-second gap to gain P10. And we are in the closing lap, so that might be a stretch. Chandler's there. He has closed in that gap.
We'll have to see if he can get it. It's very close.
He's got DRS. I don't think the McLaren's going to get Boss Cookie DRS. The McLaren might start to get blue flags. And if you're Chandler, you hope the McLaren does get blue flags before the DRS straight.
Yes. We would hope so. But that could be a bit of an upset for Chandler not to get ahead at the end if Boss Cookie had DRS off a back marker. So we'll have to see how that pans out.
Stig with another 3-second penalty. So far, the driver of the day, in my opinion, is down to Manico or Supply Raptor, both starting. Did not make it into Q2. Both in the points. Supply Raptor and the Alpine P8. 14 seconds clear of P9. Toneless P9. And the Alfa Romeo, that's a really good result for him. And, you know, Manico, he's got Zach closing in.
Yeah, it's people closing in. Again, I don't know if Zach will be able to push out that gap. He might be able to.
Yeah, he's been using the battery in order to close the gap as we've...
Aaron gets out of the way early, so he doesn't get into the detection zone of Boss Cookie.
No, he does not. I think Aaron did the right thing there to yield and let all three get by, and that changed the way this race has been going.
Race condition, yeah.
Zach has caught Manico. How hard will Manico fight him? And Zach gets the position. Well,
Oh, it's a fight through stadium.
Yeah, they're going to fight for it. Coming to 3 to go.
Zach will probably do it with DRS.
He should easily.
Nico goes low to defend.
Oh, wow.
Phantom has retired.
That is...
Too late for his safety car, so it won't be anything with that.
As Zach does get P10. Now the question is, in 3 laps, can he make a 3-second gap on Manico to retain that position? He needs to do that.
We'll have to see. I don't think it's going to be that easy or possible, but he does have the Works Ferrari.
He does have the Works Ferrari. He does have 3-lap pressure mediums. Nico's gonna have to hope to stay in his DRS range when it comes to this first detection point. Yeah, he does. Oh, no, he doesn't. I thought he was within it.
Seems not. Chandler's still trying to close it in. Will he be able to do it on the last lap?
Yeah, Boss Cookie has a little bit more batteries. Oh, Supply Raptor pits.
Supply Raptor pits. That's going to be a big deal. Raptor please kick it through.
Well, he loses the spot to Toneless right now, but with the tire pace advantage, he should be able to get by Toneless in theory because he has the grip, but he's trying to get the fastest lap attempt, and he might get it.
Does Taylor have enough of an overspeed? He's going to look for it.
Thought about it.
He has to go on the outside to try and look for it. Doesn't quite have it, but he's 2/10 back. It's very close.
If anything, this is really helping Boss Cookie now that Chandler's just as busy trying to push forward and get P1. He has to now look in his mirrors. As Supply Raptor does get by Toneless for P9 or P8, I'm sorry. And
Zach has opened up that gap just enough that he needed, so
he has, as they come to start their last lap. Taylor's all over the back of Chandler. Can he get the second DRS straight? I think
not a lot of laps left to make a move. I think this might be it.
This is it.
Another close finish, but I think this round is gonna have to go to Boss Cookie. Chandler, Seda, and Taylor in that order. Very close race between the three. And congratulations to the Red Bull for a 1-3 finish.
Deere and Shazam
very dramatic fight.
Fighting for P4. Deere on the outside keeps it. He will get P4 over Shazam. Bayron gets a penalty. I believe that's because he left the session, so that will get removed.
Yeah.
Right.
But Deer Hunter is going to be able to hold that out. A good finish from him for the McLaren, a P4.
The
It's
Supply
as good as it gets for a McLaren, honestly.
The Supply get the fastest lap. But the answer is no.
Not quite.
Fastest lap will go to Alpha Nice. Supply missed it by 0.6 of a second. Who knows? Having a battle Toneless there for P8 maybe played a factor in that. But hey, nice, worth the gamble. As Zach the Beast finishes P10, unfortunately for Manico, who misses out on. He misses points by 0.011 of a second.
Well, I think Zach had a bit more, so.
Still, that's a tough pill to swallow, but tremendous race by Manico to even hit the Haas into that position, and also Toneless for getting P9 in the Alfa Romeo, and Supply Raptor getting P8 with starting the back of the grid after crashing out. And we'll start with the people here for the podium.
But yeah, big win for Boss Cookie. He's been able to do it. Everyone called him a bottle early in the season. He had some issues, and he's starting to come back alive. Taylor doesn't take in a lot of the points that he probably wanted today, but still good points for him and his teammate for his constructors. And Chandler held on to the Red Bull until the end, so great for the Ferrari's race.
Yeah. And while we get people here, I'm going to turn my AC on. Alright, well, we got everyone here now. Taylor, well, you've had a very, very interesting race. You had to restart your Xbox twice, and still couldn't fix your issue, but still you rebounded to P3. Just describe the issues that you were facing with the beginning part of the race.
I'm not gonna hold back. Codemasters fucking sucks. I
felt that.
Formation.
Yeah.
Because Xbox Live, which I have no problems with my Xbox Live ever. I joined back and I'm on like negative 200-degree tires I'm ghosted for the entire race. I also had the FPS glitch. So it's just topping everything on top of each other. So this game was fantastic. I'm ready to go to 22 at this point. I don't want this game ever in Codemasters' hands, even though 22 is technically going to be in their hands. So, great. I mean, good rebound. I overtook the best I could. I know Deer's going to report me because, you know, he overtook me under safety car, so I got my spot back, rightfully so. So yeah, and celebrate. I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a Codemasters issue. No, I had an Xbox Live issue as well, and it wasn't F1 related. But that is unfortunate. Does it suck to have the ghosting thing and you not be able to race the way you want to race and having to deal with that? Even though you still did recover.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to race ghosted? No one.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you try to go up to the inside of someone and actually legit overtake them, they just drive to the apex of the corner anyway and just get to drive out and just re-overtake you. So, I don't know. Going forward, if that ever happens and I have someone just drive to the apex like that again, I'm just going to go through them. I don't really care. So, I need to figure something out and I'm ruling. Because otherwise, I'm just going to overtake them all I want.
Yeah, it kind of puts you in a situation where you try to do the right thing and, yeah, this doesn't work out. Chandler, you started, P3, pretty much was P2 for the majority of the race. If the safety car, not the safety car, if the VSC doesn't come out, do you think you could have had a chance to catch Boss Cookie? Because you were right on his tail right when the VSC came out.
No, because this car is no straight line speed, and the VSC didn't really change anything. I had to get back into his DRS, but then he decided to just forget where the track was, so that brought me back in. But I think that was after he was backing me up. Like, I mean, I don't know why you need to back up a Ferrari and a Red Bull. Like, I mean, yeah, a controller on a wheel track, and that's in quotation marks, a nice voice crack, but like, it's not a controller track, so I don't even know what that means. But if I had practice for this race, I mean, maybe it would have been on. But my practice was those medium stints I did in Q1 and Q2, so I don't think there was a chance. But you know, maybe there was like one chance maybe if I actually used my butts in when he was backing me up and I was just a little close. But there was no point using it because he'd just get me the next lap. So no chance.
So it sounds like P2 was the best for the Ferrari. I was going to mention about Q1, you doing 8-9 laps if you were doing basically practice. Yeah, so at least you gave it a good shot. Who knows what could have happened? Made it interesting for sure. Wrath, we'll move to you as you'll interview Boss Cookie.
Well, that was an interesting race for you, Boss Cookie. You led it from start to finish. An interesting one from being in the wet to then going to the dry. It was pretty much a simple one stop, but how was that for you? No? Hello, Boss Cookie?
Wow, very cool.
Inspirational.
Inspirational. It was good. Okay.
Well, he was
He's got no headset, I guess.
okay, we'll just have to end it with that then.
But yeah, a great race from the top three. Taylor clawing his way back. Chandler having a tremendous fight against the Red Bull, but that'll be a 1-3 for Red Bull, and it'll push Mercedes down a little bit. It'll be a closer fight for constructors, so hopefully we'll see you next time for a good fight towards the end. Be safe and have a good time, everyone.
Yeah.